It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football and certainly the loudest as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Throwing at the outset, here's Mahomes. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Here's Mahomes to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
And that's one of those where it feels like backyard football in a sense. You say, forget about the route. Just run to the open spot in the middle of the field, and I'll find you. Good throw, good concentration on the catch, and they pick up the first down.
Throwing now is Mahomes. That one caught by Rice. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it's second down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Here's 2nd and 7. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
That one came up just a little bit short. I'm wondering, is he still a little bit tight as this game starts? What would you say? Maybe he's got to take the governor off of it?
Or maybe the donut off the baseball bat like the guys in the on-deck circle?
I like that. Yeah, just take that little extra weight off of him and start to play freely.
Now Mahomes. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Rashee Rice from 4 yards out. And the Chiefs get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. This short throw caught by Goddard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And able to elude one tackler, but only gets this back to the line of scrimmage. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Hurts sets up to throw it. That is caught, and he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a 1st.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now a 2nd and 6. Hurts. Room to maneuver at the 35. And finally taken down at the 34. That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the 1st drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another 1st there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Dotson in motion right. Here's Hurts to throw. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Well, safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd down.
And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out of the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a 1st down.
Throwing is Hurts. Wide open receiver complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith on the receiving end from Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Sidney Brown in on the tackle.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Mahomes going to throw. That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's a gain of 34.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And he's got it down to the 28.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd and 6. To throw, it's Mahomes. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's got his man. He finds Worthy. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 13-yard line. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one. I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Mahomes now to throw. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Chiefs have taken the lead. He hit him earlier in this first quarter with his arm. Now he does it with his legs.
Right now, he's one of those stat stuffers that you see on the basketball court. You know, the guy with points, rebounds, assists, steals. One with the arm, one with the legs. Let's see if he can continue this pace.
And sending out the reminder that, yeah, look, I'm known for having an arm, but I can do it with the legs on occasion when I need to. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession. Now on third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. They'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. A handoff to Barkley on the option. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Bad news, they didn't get it on 2nd down. The good news is they still only need about 3 or 4 inches here on 3rd.
And the good play callers have looked at both situations. They've thought to themselves, okay, this call, I pick up the first down, already ready with that call. If I don't, this is what I'm going to come back with in order to pick it up.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
This short throw caught by Goddard. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right, that run after catch.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Hurts. It's caught. Smith. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 24-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. A first down carry for Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll go to Barkley again, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay.
Well, just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. Flushed it. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. George Karlaftis drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down.
So this defense, they gave up some yards on this drive, but bottom line, they came up with a sack when it mattered.
And we know that every down counts, but let's be honest about it. People focus on 3rd down as a real key down in any drive, any situation, and they took full advantage of 3rd down there and made a play.
The kick by Elliott is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
And now here comes Kansas City.
Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco.
And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Good yardage there on 1st down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3.
From midfield, here's Mahomes.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
And I think he was a little surprised to see the ball sitting out there like that. That's a ball he had a chance to come away with, but it winds up an incomplete pass.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and 7.
In motion left goes a tight end. Looking to throw is Mahomes.
He's going to find his tight end, Gray, complete.
And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 19. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Now here's Mahomes. He's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs.
Xavier Worthy.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Chiefs had 6 to their lead. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
On 2nd and 11 now. Hurts. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
third down, Barkley. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime.
On fourth down, punt coming from Braden Mann.
Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Throwing now is Mahomes. Open man, it's the tight end, Kelsey. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. Mahomes finding his tight end, Kelsey, for a big one. And even 50 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Hunt. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Here's Mahomes to throw.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
The way he's been slinging it in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. Butker's kick here is good, and the lead grows to 14 at 24-10.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Well, the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half, and they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll throw now on the final play.
That one downfield for Dotson.
That's caught inside the 20.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now. And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's second down. In motion left comes Brown.
Hurts.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
They go play action with Hurts.
Flush to his right. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only second and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And now 2 yards to go on third down.
Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead, and what a nice stop they just made there behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going, a little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Throwing is Hurts.
Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They'll give it to Barkley off the option play.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive.
Here's Hurts to throw.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Jalen Hurts.
A 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Eagles have got it back to within a score.
Hey, you're down on the scoreboard, but now your offense is in close, and this is where, as a quarterback, you say, I've got to make a play here. Doesn't matter whether it's a pinpoint throw or a scramble like this one. He takes matters into his own hands and delivers a touchdown run.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that cuts the lead to 24-17. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2.
But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp. Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle, but give him credit. He tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Here's Pacheco once again.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Gets this into the hands of Gray, the tight end.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Noah Gray.
A 14-yard touchdown.
And the Chiefs have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one. The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else. Ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Barkley inside handoff. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays, because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Taken down at the 30. So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
It's complete to Brown, right side. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up second down. Back to throw again. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. On first down, he'll drop to throw.
A throw over the middle, caught by Bryant.
And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
On second down, here's the option.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts
Keeping it himself from 10 yards away.
And the Eagles are back within a score.
Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the second time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback. The ability to run the ball fearlessly. And in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
Mahomes going to throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Mahomes now to throw.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. To throw, it's Mahomes.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Got a man over the middle, Worthy.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Now Mahomes.
And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. Looking to throw is Mahomes.
Throw over the middle, caught by the tight end, Gray.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They went to their big body tight end on 2nd down in hopes that he could plow his way to a 1st down, but they were ready for him defensively and ended up holding him to a modest gain.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4.
They'll try for the first with Pacheco.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the 4th quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Again, it's Pacheco.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Now here's Mahomes. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. The Chiefs on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Throwing now is Mahomes.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Chiefs are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Caught. Kelsey, left side. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
Pacheco is into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Extra point by Butker is on target,
and the lead now up to 14. Here's Butker on to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 9. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
And that is incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been tough to stop. 8 for 10 so far. This is 3rd and 9.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
Fielded at about the 28. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And out come the Chiefs now. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
2nd down and 8.
Here's Mahomes to throw. That ball caught. It's Rice. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense, because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
2nd and 10. Headed straight, it's Pacheco.
And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Now back to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. 4th and 2, they got it. That was kind of that gray area. Is that a feel thing, whether you go run or pass there offensively?
I think it's a feel thing. It's a tendency thing about what you like to do yourself on offense, as well as knowing how strong they are against the run on defense. Got to make a decision, and they made the correct one.
To the right side, it's Kelsey. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco.
With now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns.
And the Chiefs have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Well, I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Throwing is Hurts.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Here's Hurts to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Hurts.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Running left to give to Pacheco. To the 36-yard line. Stop there.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. They run it with Pacheco from the gun.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. The offense on 3rd down, they've been excellent. 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 7. They'll look to throw here.
And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. That'll be caught by Rice. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
And out come the Eagles. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man. It's Brown. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Down by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, wide open, complete. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. On 2nd and 10, Hurts. He's got Smith here. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays.
And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Eagles get a bit closer. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Hurts will throw.
And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. Oh, it looked like the Eagles got this back. Yes, Philadelphia football.
Hurts and the Eagles now.
Down by 16. 1:06 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. So now it's the Eagles' turn. Trailing in this one now. A little over a minute to go. Somehow they need to come up with a pair of touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions.
Here's 2nd down and 3.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Well, they need to score, and score quick. 1 timeout remaining. Final minute, 1st and 10. It's Barkley once again bringing in the catch.
The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
This is 1st and 10.
Back to throw again.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking. Charles, these defenses, meanwhile, have a little something to clean up before their next contest.
Yeah, neither end zone had a stop sign in it, did they? I mean, for both sides, visit it, and with frequency. Not fun to be a defensive player, but on the offensive side of the ball, those guys had a blast. One team came away with a victory, even better for them.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.